This video is an overview of my latest project, a crochet top. Today we will be talking about the freehand technique, the yarn, and a bit about the process. In the next videos you will find a step-by-step tutorial on how to crochet this top to your own size without a pattern and with almost no calculations. Even though the top is pretty simple, it does require some skills, so I do not recommend it for total beginners. I see this top as something you would wear for a cocktail, maybe a night out, not too glamorous, but it has this sequins section that definitely gives it a nice shiny twist. It's quite lightweight because I used 1.6mm crochet hook and lace yarn in a single strand, but since the upcoming tutorial explains how to freehand it, you don't have to stick to my yarn. Feel free to use whatever you like. All the projects I share on my channel are not quick ones because I use only small hooks and lace or super fine yarn. Take your time, enjoy the process, and don't set the deadlines. Now let's talk about the yarn. You know, I'm very much into Italian yarns for machine knitting. They come in cones, but this time I decided to go for something different. I got some of these from Temu. The tag says silk cotton and it states that it's 80% silk and 20% cotton, which is not true, by the way. There's no real silk. This is viscose. What is viscose? Still a great material, but it consists of both natural and artificial fibers. It's good, but it's not luxurious, like real silk, for example. I will make another video about both materials, I mean silk and viscose, but this time, to keep this video short, please just trust me. This is not silk, this is viscose. The other material is sequin cotton yarn, also from Temu, also very affordable. There are many manufacturers who offer different types of sequins, and for those small details you don't need to stick to this very one. I leave the yarn suggestions in the info box, but let's get back to the material. Pairing viscose and cotton sequins was a bold move, and in my next videos I will explain why. It still worked out well, but with some much more effort, which involved a lot of blocking before the shirt was even assembled. I had to block all these 3 panels separately quite a few times. So instead of viscose yarn, I would recommend some lace cotton yarns or maybe even linen yarn, and I will also link those in the description box. Now, important question: are these sequins itchy? In this case, they are not, because there are just small panels of those, and the main fiber here is cotton, which is okay even for sensitive skin most of the time. However, for those of you who don't like even feel of sequins against your skin, there are 2 ways of solving the problem. We will discuss both ways in the next video, so today is just an overview. For my L size shirt, I used 5 balls of silk cotton yarn and maybe a half of the cone of those sequins. I also paired them with some other sequins. Those are sequins on polyester, which is totally unnecessary. And for the neckline, I used some other materials, and there will be a separate video, and we're going to be talking about the neck treatment a lot because it honestly deserves it, and I'm going to replace this material with some other material, I mean with the original silk cotton material, and I will explain you why, and I will explain you 2 ways how to make this treatment work very well. So that's it about the yarn. The overall weight of the shirt is 257 grams, and I hope that it answers most of your questions. For your project, you will need a good pattern, which is your t-shirt. We're going to be replicating some of those shapes. This is a kind of a straight line, and then I just went on with the golden panel. And then when I had this first panel, I was adding 2 more panels. Now, how wide were those rectangulars? For that, I needed a ruler. I knew that I'm going to be having this drop shoulder shape, and I was going to ignore this line. So I took my ruler and made this imaginary line, which is about 3 or maybe even 4 centimeters less wide than the actual t-shirt. So this was going to be the width of my left panel, and the same here. So we've done the 3 parts here, just 3 rectangulars. I fixed all these together and focused on this side, and I wanted this line to just match the neckline. I just went step by step following those lines, including the part where the line went more smoothly, so I had different kinds of decreases. I made this one, and in my next video I'm gonna explain step by step each row how I did that. For the back part, using my front part as a pattern for the shoulder line, I did the reductions for the neckline. And again, in my next video I'm gonna explain how did I do that. These are the shoulder lines, and I used some more sequins to assemble the shirt on the shoulder lines, and also there will be a big tutorial on how to adjust the sides of the shirt using some mesh stitches, and also I will have a tutorial on a neckline, how to make it really nice, really smooth, really professional. There will be 2 ways of doing that, and well, yeah, pretty much every step I will be covering in the upcoming videos. Tell you something right now. I was generating these images when I was getting ready to start the project, and first I wanted to make some short sleeves, but then I realized that I didn't have enough yarn, so I decided to go without any sleeves, and I just made those armholes, and I made a mistake. Right now these are a little bit too big, but actually it's good, because in one of the tutorials I will be explaining this mistake. I will be fixing it on camera and explaining how to adjust those armholes if you have a similar issue. So if you're excited to learn how to freehand stuff like that, please subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video.